three holes, but there's also the belly button, there's the ears, like you said, the nostrils, and there's also sweat glands. Oh, by the way, we're live. Hi guys. Stay tuned for today's episode of Pink Sock Podcast.
Fucking armpits.
Pink Sock Podcast, your go-to destination for a wild and unpredictable ride through the realms of music, comedy, cannabis culture, and beyond. With your host, the fearless, the irreverent, Mike Usenik, presenting eclectic, entertaining, enlightening, surprising content. Join in the fun, push boundaries, challenge conventions, explore the spectrum of human experience. We won't shy away from any topic. Entertainment, exploration, connection. Join us.
Hello, guys, and welcome to another edition of Pink Sock Podcast. Before we did that little intro, yes, me and Pink was talking about holes. How many?
We should
why do
keep
we
count, right?
why do we limit ourselves? Because if you think about, like you said, we have ears. Men have less
Two.
holes than women, though.
There's two nostrils.
Well,
There's
actually,
two
no.
ear holes.
Would men have less holes than women, or the same amount? Because we got the hole in our pee bug.
If you have a pirate, there could be an eye socket.
I mean, we all have eye sockets. We just got to remove it.
Well, yeah. I mean, if it's pre-done, then it's nice and healed, and it'll be more
True,
like a
but
flashlight.
some people when they're missing their eye, they don't have a hole. You know, those people that have like half an eye where they put like a clip on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like not a full glass eye, but a half a glass. Is the glass eye half there or half not?
I actually had a friend who had a glass eye.
Was it the whole glass eye, or was it like the little clip that you?
It was a whole one.
Ooh, did you ever like get the urge to
And
put
he
your
was,
finger?
I used to cover up his good eye, and then I'd be like, "Can you see me?" Because I was an asshole.
Did you ever like open it up and look inside?
No. But he told me a story where when he was like 3, he fell down the stairs and landed on the radiator, and it gouged his eye out.
You just unlocked a whole new fear I never knew I had.
Right?
That is fucking terrifying.
That is fucking terrifying. Like, oh my god.
Speaking of losing your eye, what is the most
Yeah.
traumatizing not traumatizing, but what is the weirdest personal experience you've had sexually? The weirdest one. Because I think for me it was like when I like sliced myself.
Yeah. Well, that would be weird.
That was horrible. That was weird. Like it was so weird she blocked me on everything. That's how weird it was.
Oh, she was embarrassed.
It's weird because like I thought we was gonna be able to be friends after that, but I get it. I'd block me too if it is embarrassing. I just talk about it because I'm very open about things in my life, man. I'm open about that kind of shit. I don't shy away from anything, man. What up, Adam Garak? You're more than welcome to join us, Adam. Adam was the former well, he still is more than welcome to come join us, but he was a co-host, and I help him with Goals Gone Wild.
Hi, Adam.
Go check out Goals Gone Wild. Incredible show. He does so much great shit over there.
Nice.
He is quite the man. Like he's like part man, part human centipede. But I don't know where I was going with that. But
but I have a story about the weirdest sexual escapade thing. Oh no, why is it only me?
Because you're going to tell a story. You're going to tell a story, so we need to see that face, that beautiful
I see my face
face
and I'm like,
on the big screen. Look at that.
yeah, I'm like, what the fuck? So yeah, me and my first boyfriend were fucking in the back seat of a car by a cornfield.
Naturally, that's
And
where you would do it.
yeah, like it was like in like a side road, like so we were off in the distance. And then we see flashing lights
Oh shit!
and it's a fucking cop. And so I thankfully was fucking in my dress. So he had to quickly get dressed, but I was basically dressed already. And the car was steamed up. And so then
Ooh.
the cop like taps on the window and then roll the window and we're sitting in the back seat. And he's like, what's going on? And it's like, you know what's going on. Like, but I'm like, oh, I had a low blood sugar. And he's like, so you had to sit in the back seat? I'm like, yeah.
So you
I'm
have low
like,
blood sugar, and he was checking it with his candy stick.
yeah, yeah. He was giving me a little sugar.
Why aren't you the comedian? You're actually funny.
Oh,
Um,
thanks.
Greg is going live here in an hour and a half with his guest spell grinder. So if you
Ooh.
want something to do after a Pink Sock podcast, go over to Ghouls Gone Wild. Um, so, so I had a experience where I thought I was going to get arrested while doing the deed. You know what I mean? I was with this girl, and at the time, me and her was like friends with benefits, I think you'd call it. And we was at a truck stop, but it wasn't like your traditional truck stop. There was like a body of water nearby, and we got on one of the benches and we were doing the deed. And I don't know if there's cameras or not, so they might have it on camera, but whatever. I was doing the deed and we finished. We had finished, and then the cop showed up, and we was already dressed, thank God. But we look, looking back, we look kind of suspicious because I'm like, let's get the fuck out of here. And she's like, we can stay and hang out. I'm like, we can, but let's do this somewhere else. Let's hang out somewhere else because that cop dude was in there. Like, I was worried about them checking the cameras.
Yeah.
So I took my long dong silvers and I packed them up and I hit the road. And your dogs are loving this story, by the way.
I know.
But she texted me as I was driving. Don't text and drive. I have that voice thing that says like what they're typing. But at the time I did, not now, but at the time I did. And she said, we can schedule another time. I got to get home anyway. And I think that was the last time me and her ever got down and dirty because it was kind of weird. We worked together at the time. Don't dip your dick into work. Don't do a dicking into working. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
it caused a little bit of drama. Because about a month later, she hit me up for some dirty dancing. You know what I mean? Some pants off dance off. But I had to decline. And then the next day, she was at work talking to a coworker about how she doesn't think the man she's with is being loyal.
Oh.
I had to be like, yo, hey, pause. You just messaged me yesterday about dicking in the woods. that sounds like
Yeah.
a that sounds like a horror movie title. Like instead of cabin
Taken
in the
in the
woods,
woods.
instead of cabin in the woods, is dicking in the woods.
Yeah.
But yeah, she got real mad. She started screaming at me and shit. She's like, "That's not what happened." And I'm like, "I got my text messages. Like I'm an asshole to an extent." The thing is I don't kiss and tell typically. I don't let people know like who I'm. Well, I let them know who I'm dating, but I'm not the type to like kiss and tell unless cheating's involved. If
Mhm.
if they're trying to be assholes about it, if that makes sense. It's like, oh, I don't know if my man's cheating or not. Well, I mean, why worry about your man if you're the one doing it too? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I'm weird though because if somebody, and this is kind of where I lose a lot of people. If somebody, and I'm not saying with me in general, but if somebody, like, let's say a dude sleeps with a girl and that girl happens to have a boyfriend, that boyfriend finds out, he gets mad at the dude. No, that dude, in my opinion, did nothing wrong. He's single.
No.
He has no commitment to that relationship. You should be mad at your woman, the one that's actually committed to you.
Yeah, exactly.
She's the one that should have stayed loyal. I don't know what to tell you. But I always see people so mad at the other guy. I'm like, what did he do
Yeah.
wrong? Even if he knew the relationship was in place, he has no dedication to the relationship. He's not the one that did something wrong. I mean, I could be an asshole with saying that, but that's my honest opinion. What is up, Dot Kebabs? Molly, that's a relative of mine. She said, I'm out of here. She's like, you're talking about
Oh.
dicking in the woods. I'm out of here. That's where I draw the line is dicking in the woods. Adam, you're more than welcome to join us, bro. Even if you got your podcast, we're not going to be on here too long. I'm going to actually, we're doing an hour and a half, but like, I don't want to run the same time Adam's show runs.
That's fair.
That's fair. We're kind of partnered with him in a way. Like, we're not the same. He's
Well, and we're not
independent.
normally on Tuesdays.
We're not normally on Tuesdays either.
Yeah.
It's kind of a weird thing. I do plan on eventually getting my courage up to do a daily live, not necessarily labeled Pink Sock, just a live.
Mhm.
Just to hang out. Dicking in the woods is fun. We're professionals now. Um, I've dicked in the woods a couple times, but now this is gonna sound like a Misfit song, but I want to dick in a cemetery. You know what I mean? I want to get down in a cemetery. Like getting down with the dead. You know what I mean? Not like no, I don't want to get with the dead. I want them to watch.
I
Like
want them to watch.
yeah, I'm
I
not
want
like
them
Ed.
to be present.
Yeah, I'm not gonna like Ed Gein the situation or like
Yeah.
any of them fucked up people. I meant like I want to be among the dead, not with them. You know what I mean? What is up,
Yeah.
Dot? You're more than welcome to join us, dear. We actually have the link in the description, and if you're having issues getting to it, you can actually go to usenick.com, usenick.com. The invite link is there. It doesn't change weekly. Whenever we do these hangouts, that's anybody's welcome to. The link's there. Anybody's welcome. Everybody's welcome. Let's talk. What is up, Jacob? You can join us too, brother. Neener, I still got to use my wiener.com. I wish that was my website. Neener, I still get to use my wiener.com. That would be that's the new name of the podcast. What up? What up? What are we doing? So,
You'd
what's going on
have
with
to
you?
change the background.
What?
So why is the background not a pink sock anymore?
I changed it around.
Oh, okay.
If you had a wiener, would you wave it in traffic? Like out of anger? You know what I mean? Like if you're in traffic and somebody makes you mad, you just oh, I got a funny story for you, Pink.
Okay.
Um, I I don't like arguments. Like I like mutual disagreements where like you can talk things over, but I don't like arguments. I don't like yelling. I
Mm.
don't like any of that toxicity in relationships. That's why I'm not in one because a lot of people are like dig the whole toxic shit, and I'm not. I'm not. I have toxic traits. We all do, but I'm not for toxicity if it's purposely. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, well, my ex wanted to argue while we was in traffic, and I didn't want to argue, but she was like yelling at me and shit. So I made a real joking, funny, like angry face, like it was as a joke, and she took it as a joke. But I whipped out my wiener and real angry, like, "Hey, look what you made me do!" And the argument was over. Like she couldn't stop laughing.
Yeah.
Because what else do you do when somebody's angrily beating their meat in traffic?
It's true. Did
And
anyone see it happen though?
no, I had tinted windows. I wouldn't have done that if somebody could have seen.
Ah. Why not?
Because you don't know who's in the other cars. You don't know if like a dog will see it or whatever. Look who's here. We
That's
have
true.
Dot in the building. Have you ever done that? Have you ever beat yourself in traffic when you're angry? No?
You poor shit you missed while you're trying to get into the room.
No, me and Pink was talking about like crazy shit we've done, and I was in traffic one time with an ex, and she made me angry, and she was mad. I wasn't, but she was mad about something, and I decided to. I didn't want to have the argument she was having, so I just whipped out my member and just angrily beat it. And I'm like, "Look what you made me do!" And I had tinted windows, so like nobody in traffic. Like it wasn't like it.
No,
And
that's how I got a husband 11 years younger, and why we go on so many road trips. It's because I'm good at roadhead.
I've never
Gotta
given
touch
or
teeth.
nobody's given me roadhead.
Aw.
But I think it's easier for women to give roadhead than men. If it's
Yeah.
like a man on a woman,
Oh
because
God.
like
That's I'm gonna fucking crash. Absolutely.
yeah, like I'd have to be like 4 foot tall, like Vern Troyer or something. You can just stuff me under the seat and just pop my head out. You'd need a vehicle that you can crawl under the seats of in order to give as a man. I don't even think that's possible, is it?
No, I don't think so.
You must be into yoga if that's
I
the
don't know.
case.
You can have a little tickle the bean from the side.
That's actually my slogan, tickle the bean from the side. It's the snack that smiles back. You know what I mean? Goldfish. So how you been, dear? that's how Mike does. I don't know. My sense of humor gets me in trouble a lot, as you can tell.
Mine too.
So you say flicking the bean. What do you call it, Pink?
DJ Diddles.
BJ Diddles. That's my DJ name.
Mm.
Yeah.
Nice.
Up next on stage, BJ Diddles. Yeah, it does look like it does look like that, don't it? Like it looks like you're like spinning the record.
Whatever. Yeah.
Like next time I'm in the bedroom with somebody, because that can happen. I'm gonna. Is that Will Ferrell behind you? Because I feel kind of intimidated.
Oh yes.
I'm intimidated by Will Ferrell. He looks kind of angry.
We watch Hot Ones on YouTube.
Oh, nice. I love Will Ferrell. He's
Ferrell episode. My bad.
Did you ever watch that documentary? We're going to be covering it Monday, so guys, stay tuned because we are going to go in depth with it. Did you watch Quiet on Set yet, Dot?
I haven't. No. My credit card is dead for a minute. No, I YouTube.
You know what's wild about that Quiet on Set documentary? It has reached 14 million views already.
Wow. I'm not surprised. Now, like I saw a lot of stuff about it on TikTok today and Facebook Reels. And the biggest thing that I have heard is that this isn't news. Corey Feldman has been telling people this stuff for decades.
Yeah, but some of it is news by Nickelodeon standards, not by child actor standards. The big revelation, and a lot of people already knew about the Dan Schneider shit. That was very common news. He got fired in 2016 because of his actions. The part that shocks me is Dan Schneider. You guys might not know this or not, but he continued in child shows because he was part of iCarly reboot in 2023.
Oh wow.
And if you watch the iCarly reboot, guess who wasn't involved? Jeanette McCurdy, because she wrote a book, and in a part of it, she mentioned Dan Schneider as being an angry boss and very difficult to work with without naming him by name because she has an NDA agreement.
Oh damn.
There is a lot more to unpack. It is very disturbing. So if you if you are sensitive to that kind of shit, don't watch us talk about it. But it's something that needs to be talked about.
Well,
Mhm.
something else that I want to bring to light from all of this is how common is it for adult abusers to have their victims diagnosed with mental health issues so no one believes them when they come forward and say, "Hey, I've been molested." They go,
That
"Oh,
is,
you're bipolar, or you've got schizophrenia. Oh, you smoked too much
Mhm.
party, you did too much acid,
I
whatever."
don't want. I don't want to talk on her behalf because I don't know her personally, but I know what I've seen. But allegedly, I'm just going to say allegedly because I don't know, but that's what happened to Amanda Bynes.
Right, right. And I think there are suspicions that there are things that she's not the only one that that's happened to. It's
Allegedly, now I'm going to still say allegedly because I don't know and I just saw posts about it. Allegedly, Amanda Bynes was impregnated when she was 16 years old, possibly by somebody at Nickelodeon.
right.
Wow.
That makes
And
sense.
they paid for her abortion.
Right. It wasn't too long after that because I remember at the time, her and Hillary Duff were the two big ones.
Yep.
And just all of a sudden, she lost her mind. And after what I have been through and seeing the similarities and how I lost my mind afterwards, there's a lot of things that make sense with
Yep.
that. Yeah.
And it's very creepy. And I'm trying not to cover too much about the documentary because we're going to cover it in full Monday, but it's very it's very disturbing to me that Nickelodeon approved the scripts of some of these children shows that Dan Schneider had the ideas for, like cum shot jokes directed towards children, um, foot fetishes involving children. There was scenes where children's feet were displayed on the screen covered in ketchup, and Ariana Grande when she was young squirting water on her face and holding a potato and screaming and moaning. Even as far as the ending of some episodes of the shows being sound clips that are very suggestive.
Wow.
And it's very, some of the stuff wasn't covered by Quiet on Set yet. But the big revelation was the Drake Bell thing. Everybody knew about Brian Peck. And I don't know if you know who Brian Peck is.
Hmm.
Brian Peck was a coach at Nickelodeon, like taught the kids how to act and shit. Well, Drake Bell was under his guidance and he manipulated Drake into canceling his father from being his manager. And then
Oh
Brian
wow.
Peck brutally assaulted him in his home one night and continued to for 2 to 3 years. And Drake said in the documentary, imagine the worst things anybody could do to you, and it happened.
Right. I think I saw something on that earlier today.
And what's fucked up is Brian Peck received, I think, 100 letters from people close to him defending him and saying that he's not that kind of guy, blah, blah, blah. And the guy openly admitted to all of the crimes, and everybody knew what he did. And they still defended him, and he only served, guess how much time he served?
I know it wasn't very much.
For assaulting a 14-year-old, well, 14, 15, and 16, because I think it happened over the course of 2 or 3 years.
And
He
that,
did
go
he did
ahead.
16 months. 16 months is all he did.
I was gonna say I knew it was something like astronomical. And then didn't they let him back on a set to coach more kids later?
No, Disney brought him back as a voiceover actor.
Uh,
He played I think a mirror or something in a couple episodes of Sweet Life and Zach Cody. And they ended up removing the voice clip because they found out through a whistleblower, not by people on set who knew his past.
oh,
They found out through a whistleblower, and they were going to expose Disney, and Disney fired him.
Damn.
because allegedly, I don't know if this is exactly their position, but I believe it was the director and producer of Sweet Life of Zack and Cody wrote letters to Brian Peck defending him during the court case. And they claimed we had nothing to do with his hiring at Disney, but you had a lot to do with him not getting fired
Right. Right.
because you knew after the fact.
Yeah.
Like, that is fucked up. And these people defended him knowing what he did.
Right. Right. Well,
And Disney has their day coming. They have their season of this show, in my opinion, because there's a lot of fucked up shit that's happened over there too.
yes. And that's actually one of the videos I saw was one of the Disney kids talking earlier today too.
Yeah.
And Corey Haim and some of the stuff that happened to him, I was looking up because all of this, sounds very familiar to those 80s kids that were really written off as just a party generation, but really what was happening to them. And go ahead.
Sorry, I'm not trying to interrupt you. I'm just adding to what you said.
Yep.
According to Corey Feldman, he was in an interview. According to Corey Feldman, Corey Haim was brutally assaulted by Charlie Sheen. When he was 14, Sheen was, I think, 30.
Damn. Right.
On set between two trailers for the movie they're in together. I don't
Right.
know how true that is, but it's very possible to being true.
Right.
The time zone makes sense, and Charlie Sheen is not known for being a good person.
No, he's not. But here's another thing is my question is how far back does this go? Who did it to Charlie Sheen when he was a kid?
That's
That another
Yeah.
most assaulters were assaulted. And this isn't new shit. People like to think it is, but it's not. Let's go back to Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
Judy Garland was drugged as a child while doing that movie.
Oh shit.
She was drugged. Her parents pretty much threw her out in the Hollywood. Nobody knows her full story. She's not here, sadly, to tell it, so I'm not going to. But like, people think a lot of bad shit happened to her. Same with Judy Garland.
Yeah, she yes, the uppers and the downers, and did
Yeah.
she find like
Mhm.
hotel room
Yeah,
or broke and penniless and the whole like shenanigans.
it is fucking crazy some of the shit that happens, and this is what this is the shit they allow us to know.
Right. Right. What
And
yeah.
what's crazy is all right. We have Nickelodeon. This shit drops right. And then P. Diddy's house gets raided by the FBI. But when this all happened, a random 2 or 3 bridges collapsed.
Yeah,
They're trying to set the fucking radar off of what's being exposed.
that makes sense.
Because also nobody wants to mention it, but Trump just had to be bonded out for $352 million because guess what? He ain't fucking rich.
Right. Right. Have you seen 50 Cent's Instagram page?
No, I have not.
Oh my gosh. So I saw another TikTok person today. I spent a lot like I accomplished some stuff, but I spent a lot of time fucking off today too and catching up with the world.
Yeah.
Mhm.
She worded it like he was a kid that got bullied and now gets to watch his bully get taken down.
Yeah.
I checked out some of that shit and he is calling him out and posting every headline there is about it.
I'm
And
not even wanting to talk the political side of Trump. Trump has always been a bully, for one. He's always gotten away with the worst crimes.
yes,
This dude admitted on the Howard Stern show that he liked watching teenage beauty pageant members change. Teenage
right,
beauty
right.
pageants. He's
Well,
on Epstein's flight log.
there's something not right with that generation.
Now, a lot of people are saying, well, that doesn't mean that he did anything wrong. But
No,
the
no,
fact that he's coming out and denying he's on the flight log when he's clearly on it is what it makes me wonder what he's trying to hide.
yes, yes. They all did something wrong,
Yeah.
and because that whole generation seems to have a fucked up idea of what it means to be legal. Um, does it? Yeah, doesn't make it right.
And
Doesn't
if you
make it by
and if
any
you
means.
don't agree with anything we're saying on this show, it's a very lighthearted conversation. We're allowed to disagree and still be respectful. That's the thing I hate.
No, no, I have personal experience with somebody in sort of that Trump age range that doesn't know that it's okay.
It what drives me nuts though. What drives me nuts though is people that worships these fucking celebrities and these politicians. I don't like any of them. I'll put that out there. I don't like any of them. They're all criminals, in my opinion. They all are fucked up people. That's why they're in power. They
Right,
had to do fucked up shit to get there. I hate when people are like, oh, clearly this guy's a criminal. Clearly he does fucked up shit, but they ignore it and claim he's not.
right. No, he's doing fucked up shit. They've been doing fucked up shit for a while. I have like we gotta talk later when I'm not on camera to the world. Uh I've learned some interesting things in the last couple of years on our personal journey, but again, I can't share it on the internet right now.
Oh, I get
Um,
it.
but I have so many suspicions and so many things flying through my brain, and then just yes, the things later.
And all I'm saying on right now is anything that I say on here, I'm not saying is 100% fact. I'm not saying it's fiction. I'm saying from what I have read on certain articles online and seen in interviews, straight out of the man's mouth.
Right,
That's
right,
like that. That's
yeah,
like Ted Nugent. Ted Nugent wrote a song about sleeping with a 14-year-old girl.
yeah. That's not okay. And
Jailbait is the name
uh,
of it.
Aerosmith, all those guys back then, their manager would go and pick girls out for them. It didn't
Yep.
matter what age they were, just so long as they took a shower before they fucked them.
Elvis Presley, notorious for going after 16-year-olds and dumping them when they turned 18.
Damn it! Wow.
Notorious. His wife, he quit being interested in her when she turned 18, and he was seeing a 16-year-old behind her back.
Oh goddamn.
Like, yeah, Jerry Lee Lewis. He married his third cousin
Yeah,
when she was like 16 or something.
yeah, yeah. They were young.
Chuck Berry, he has all kinds of shit on him. Like, I I guess back then it was considered okay, but it still wasn't okay.
Right. Well, and I mean, look, I love Bob Marley. I love all the good he did. But golly fuck, the man's got a lot of kids and
My
grandkids.
thing is what we need to do as a society is quit looking at the good people do. Yeah, it's great that they do good and hold them accountable for the bad they do instead of ignoring the bad and saying, oh, they did good. Because a lot of people do good to cover up the bad they do.
Yes. Allegedly, there were a lot of 80s rock stars that used like a Uber Eats service for young boys. And
Yep.
um, a lot of those young men ended up with HIV and didn't make it.
Are
Uh,
you familiar with Jimmy Savile?
uh-uh. Well, I've seen a lot,
Oh,
but I don't remember all the names. Very ADD, so I'm bad. Don't ask me those questions.
I'm bad with names, but I also hyperfixate on weird things. And I didn't know what this show was going to be about, so I guess it's about this.
Right?
Jimmy Savile Jimmy Savile was a very famous comedian on the BBC, and he was the host of Top of the Pops and shit like that. He also owned hospitals for mentally ill children, not mentally ill, but physically ill children, and he was doing all these great charity shit for children. But behind closed doors, they were hiding the fact that he was assaulting these children. he was using the hospitals for his own personal sick perversions.
Oh no.
And allegedly, BBC was keeping it a secret for a while. And it came out that there was over 300, 400 kids involved.
Yeah, I have to say that I'm not surprised. Sometimes, like, the nicest people, sometimes they're doing the most evil things. And they're
Sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes.
right. Sometimes. And their victims have to play along like it's okay.
Well, the
And
thing is the mentality is I do all this good stuff and I paint this picture of me being a great person that when I do something bad, people will just be like, oh, well, he did this, this, and this. He can be forgiven easier than somebody who didn't do all of that.
well, let me say this. We all deserve grace so long as we accept that we fucked up, learn the
Yeah.
lesson, and move forward. And when you know better, do better. And if you're not
Well,
like
that's like,
intentionally with malice, be a
yeah.
shithead. You know, my son, who is high functioning autistic, had to learn how to not tell people that being fat's not okay because it's not healthy, because that hurts somebody's feelings. That's not a way to say I love you. You know, um, sorry.
That's fucking hilarious in a bad way, but that's
Yeah,
funny. But my thought though is also we need to, as a society, quit putting lawsuits and allegations on the news until they are found guilty in a court of law.
I like that too because then everybody's prejudging, and we don't need to prejudge. We should.
Everybody is going after Drake Bell now because he went to court for allegedly assaulting a minor.
Right,
And nobody's looking into the actual facts and details of the court case. The man, yes, he did hit on somebody who happened to be a minor. But when he found out her actual age, he cut all contact and then she went stalkerish and started making allegations against him. And when they seized his phone, they found out that all the things she was saying, besides the flirtation, was all false.
yeah, that's not cool. Well, right, and this is what I do hate about the internet, is that there's so much information,
Yeah.
and like you said, and the bridges, and there's so many distractions. What is real and what is misinformation? What's the distractions? What's the
Like, are they trying to paint him as being that kind of guy so they can silence him because the Nickelodeon shit that's coming out?
right, right? Well, and look at all the people that they have painted as pedophiles and silenced over the year. Oh, well, alleged
Michael
pedophiles
Jackson.
that are dead. Yes, now that can't make a difference and can't speak the truth.
Well, allegedly, from what I've read, and this could be false, I'm just an idiot with a microphone. But allegedly, from what I've read, Michael was proven innocent in a court of law. There was no evidence stating otherwise. But allegedly, he was trying to expose that whole ring in Hollywood in the 90s. And
Right,
they made him out to be the enemy. So nobody would listen to him.
right, right.
Because
And
listen, he had all these kids that were actors and shit around him all the time. He knew shit. They were telling him shit.
yes,
Mhm.
I'm certain they were.
Like they were telling him shit, especially Corey Feldman.
Right, yes, yes.
Isn't it weird that Corey Feldman was saying that there's all these people in Hollywood that does this shit, but he never wants to name Michael?
Yeah, he actually, I saw an interview with him earlier today where he was like, no, Michael Jackson was not the child molester. He was the one speaking out about it. He did
Yep.
I don't know, it's on there. It pops up on one of the major videos. I Googled all the things today. I went down a
Yeah.
rabbit.
It's wild, but like it needs to be discussed because people are silenced that talk about it.
Well,
Like with
else. I don't know if you've noticed this, but Penn yes, is that what right? Yeah, the tall one, and Penn and Teller.
yeah, Penn and Teller, Penn. Teller's
His,
one that don't talk.
his left ring finger is painted red, just the one,
Yep.
and that represents that 1 in 10 boys are molested.
I did not know that. I thought he did that for his mother. That's an interesting.
What? Well, it's also a symbol for 1 in 10 men are molested, and you don't know about it. And it's not okay for boys to talk about it. It's not okay for boys to say things happened to me. Um, and that's something that I want to try and normalize too.
Yeah,
Because
because men can be victims too.
yes, yes, and so many that you wouldn't even think about.
Now,
Um,
what upsets me, and I've never went public with this, but fuck it. Um, what upsets me is when women are mad at men and they make false accusations, because that ruins the image of like the whole movement, like women that are actual victims coming
yeah,
forward.
I agree with you. I completely agree with
I
you.
had an ex one time throw around accusations about me, and I had proof that she was not telling the truth. And she didn't know that I had proof, but she was throwing these accusations around. The only reason I found out is because her friend was posting on my wall and shit all this false information about the relationship that she had no information about. And it was crazy. I had to see a lawyer and shit. She never got a letter or nothing, but they told me to keep a close eye on it. But
Right? I'm sorry that happened to you.
yeah, it was awful. The posts were about a year ago.
Oh, that's awful. No, I'm telling you, that is not something to fuck around with.
No,
And anybody who plays about that shit, shame the fuck on them. You have no idea the amount of therapy that takes to be okay with later
it,
and to live a normal, healthy life.
it's sad some of the shit that like these people are afraid to come forward because of the power that these people have to ruin their lives.
Yes. Yes. Um,
It's sad.
it's
In the documentary, there was a woman who wouldn't show her face.
when you are
Still,
in a situation that you believe you cannot escape, you've got to try and live a double life to where you keep a part of your soul yourself and where you agree to all of the bullshit on the outside going on around you. And at some point, you can only keep that up for so long before you completely lose yourself unless something happens, something drastic happens. And you completely get Stockholm syndrome.
I
And you
have
live in that world and you can't get away. If you leave your abuser, you will fight to stay with your abuser. It's fucking insane. Um and I've done a lot of research on this kind of stuff too. And I have some personal experience, some family experience, and just yeah, a lot of therapy, a lot of psychology. Um, but yes,
I'm not trying to make this conversation a traumatizing
no,
experience.
no,
I'm just
it's not. I just want to make sure that I word things correctly. Like I believe that I know somebody that is currently in a situation that they don't believe that they can ever get out of. There is
because
no
is it because the person's being manipulative and stalking them when they try to get out? Because I have a friend going through that.
no, 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 no. This is somebody who I believe possibly is like Amanda Bynes
Oh,
is
conservatorship kind of thing.
yeah, and trapped in that situation to where they believe they're never going to get out. So they're just going to be crazy and they're going to go with it full force and all the things and live it and be it and whatever and be fabulous. Um,
Yeah.
because that's the only way that their psyche can survive and be happy living in the prison that they can never escape because nobody is ever going to believe anything that's ever going to come out of their mouth.
You know what
Ever.
don't make sense to me, but I get it. It comes from a place of like what you're used to. But I have friends, like female friends, typically are the female friends that do this. I'm not saying all of them do. But there are a lot of females that keep going into toxic relationships knowing they're going to be toxic because they would rather not get with somebody who treats them right because they're afraid of hurting somebody who treats them right. They don't care about an asshole. And that's a really like fucked up mindset. Like, why can't you just be happy being alone then at that point?
Mm.
True story. I was telling this story earlier today. I was one of those women And God bless knee kebabs, because at one point in our relationship, I was like, because I kind of like some spicy things before we got together. And I was like, would you be a real man and abuse me? And he was like, fuck no, I won't. I will not do that. And that is not what a real man does. And I'm going to show you what real love is. And worked very hard on reprogramming me to where I could accept and receive a real relationship. And then when it was his turn to lose his mind, I was there for him and we did his stuff. But I was so fucked up when we met.
See,
And
it drives me nuts when that happens, man, because women deserve respect and love, and they don't chase it, man.
I had no idea. And let me tell you, what we have today is fucking insane. It's insane, and I wish it for everybody. And sorry, like, he makes me a real girl. I was so off. I was like, and now I'm just like,
See, it drives me crazy though that like, and I feel bad for the women because it's just trauma they're going through. Like, I'm not mad at them, but like at the end of the day, if you step back and you look at it, don't make sense. You want happiness, but you won't chase it. And I had this one girl that I'm friends with. She talked to me the other day about shit, and she was like, well, women equate toxic relationships to good sex." I'm like, people who are nice can still have like the abusive relationship sex in the bedroom. You know what I mean? Like, we have that pent up rage. Like, I don't know if you know that or not, but like,
but I'm telling you, even the non abusive sex with the nice guy is really, really good.
I I believe that they're like, I'm not one to kink shame unless you're like Jeffrey Dahmer. Then yeah, I'll kink shame. But like, like if you're into like eating bodies, like that's where I draw the line. But but like, you know what I mean? But you know, like, what? It's true. I don't kink shame. I'm gonna get that on a shirt. I don't kink shame unless you're doing that
Unless
kind
you're
of shit.
Dahmer.
Yeah.
Yeah, kink shame and Dahmer. That's gonna be my first hit single. Can I get with you guys and write a song called Kink Shame and Dahmer?
Yes, honey, can we write a song called King Shame and Dahmer?
Because that would, like, I don't know, like, I'm not one to kink shame though. There's a lot of kinks people have. The only time I kink shame is if you're hurting somebody, like in a non-consensual way. You know what I mean? Like, that's the only.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand. Like, sex is weird in a way. Like, it's the only thing that we completely demonize that's 100% natural.
Yes, I don't understand that either.
Like, I was telling Pink, I can't walk. Okay, men are expected to make the first move. But if I make the first move and the woman's not interested in me, then I'm labeled as a creep, a weirdo, this, that, and the other. And also, if you can't admit to a friend that you find them sexually appealing, because then that makes the friendship weird if they don't view you the same way, even though you can be friends with somebody you find sexually appealing. So then you got to keep it kind of a secret.
Right. I understand.
Like, you can't communicate with people anymore with the fear of it being deemed as a weird. Why can't we openly communicate with one another without shit being weird?
I give people compliments all the fucking time.
Me
I
too, and
don't
it's
care
viewed as
who it
weird.
is,
Like,
but people find it weird.
I told a
It,
female friend of mine straight up that I would fuck her if she found me interesting, and we wasn't friends anymore. And I'm like, that's kind of weird to me. Like, you can't openly admit you find somebody sexually appealing, even if they're not interested. Just say you're not interested. I mean, that's it, the end of the conversation. But I get it, because there's a lot of guys out there that then demonize women for not being interested and this, that, and the other. But you can't judge one person based on the actions of people you've encountered.
I actually know okay, sorry. I'm not really one of these people that knows everything, but you hit a lot of like my Mike, we got a lot of shit in common. So my son is kind of like Forrest Gump, and his best friend is kind of like Jenny. And they've known each other since the second grade, and they are best friends. Never date. He is in her friend zone for life. And they still, like, I think she's in North Carolina and he's in Florida, and they still talk and they're still friends and communicate and all. Like, it's amazing. But it's cool. But my kids kind of, again,
Yeah.
never mind. Ah, I shouldn't talk about my kid on Facebook. I'm doing.
It's okay though to be in what we call the friend zone, but it's weird to tell a woman, and I don't know why, but it's weird to tell a woman that you're friends with that you find them sexually appealing, because then they assume that that's the only reason you're friends with them when that isn't the case.
I no, it's not. It's not. And a good man, like if you're having a fight or a disagreement, gives zero fucks if you show him your tits because he
Yeah,
cares about who you are, not what you have to offer him.
yeah.
Because it's supposed to be a mutual relationship.
Now
And
I'll forget what I was talking about for a minute if you do, but like,
I, I get that, but like again, that's not what the relationship should be about.
no.
And sex is a whole lot of fun. But let me tell you, we have spent 24 hours a day, 7 days a week together for most of the 3 years that we have been married. And it is a good thing that we like each other because if we didn't, there's no place to escape in this tiny house. It is a hallway with cabinets.
Well, I guess what my point was is like, just because I say that I would fuck somebody or whatever doesn't mean that that's the only reason I am in a friendship with them. That is just, and it doesn't mean I'm going to pressure the situation or give a fuck if it even happens. That's just throwing out their facts. Like, I don't understand.
Any girl that is lucky to get your attention, she better snap you up quickly because you're a catch, sir. I'm telling you.
Thanks.
I like fuck for real. You
Well,
are amazing.
well, it's really awful because like, and it's a good character trait, but it's bad in the current dating world. I'll have a girl say she's interested in me. Let's say she says she's interested in me. Let's say she loses interest and tells me she doesn't like me like yet. I don't do the whole cat and mouse chase. I respect the boundaries. I'm like, hey, you don't like me. And then later on, I found out they did like me. I'm like, well, you should have communicated that. They're like, well, I gave you signs. No, I don't do signs. I don't do hints. I'm autistic. I don't do all that shit. Like, you got to come out and tell me.
I don't read a room.
Yeah. Well, I do as a comedian, but like, even if I pick up, like, if I feel like you might like me, I'm not going to bring it up if you already said you don't. That's up to you to tell me.
Right. Yeah,
I'm not going to do the mind games. I'm not going to do the guessing games. I'm just going to wait. And if you say something, you say something. If not, I'm not going to.
well, let me change your perspective. You were dodging a lot of bullets for the amazing woman that is coming your way.
Well, she's going to come, all right. Sorry.
There it is.
I
There it is.
can't wait to have a girls' night and drink wine and exchange stories, squirt stories. It'll be amazing.
I love squirt stories. Those are my favorite.
Yeah, we'll do the whole thing. We'll talk you guys up and brag all about you.
Hey,
It's trust me because you're really amazing, but you also deserve somebody amazing. So
that's
you
why right now, and I'm being honest.
off the street, like she's gonna have to be spectacular to meet your level of awesome energy. So
Now,
just be patient and be happy.
I
And
appreciate that, and that's what I'm doing right now. And I'll be honest, I'm living kind of what they call the hoe life, but I am picky with who I sleep with. Like I only sleep with friends, as weird as that sounds. But like I only sleep with people that like I view as possibly being a friend and I know are clean. I'm not gonna just sleep with somebody off the street.
right. I get that, but just be ready to meet the person you haven't met yet.
Yeah,
And stupidest place.
that's what I'm doing, man. I'm trying, but like I don't want to. I'm kind of iffy about it. Like I want to find love in a way, but I also don't want a relationship because I don't want to settle. So like the dating world is fucked because it's you have to guess what they're feeling or what they're thinking because they won't.
Uh oh, we
Is it
froze.
me or is it him?
He froze.
Okay. Well, how are you doing today?
I'm I'm having a fucking blast. So I start off the day kind of worried because we've had a few days off and we still have more bills, because bills don't stop. And
Yeah.
and then like all these calls came in, and I'm like, "Phew, it's gonna be all right." And I had
I
just
didn't realize that you were one of the kebab people until like 5 minutes ago.
oh
What did I
my
miss? I got frozen.
we
I just started asking her how her day was, and we
yeah,
went from there.
Bob's. It's Caputo and Rob. One of his last names and my last name shortened and combined. So I was Dorothy Roberts, and I'm a lazy kid. So I shortened that shit to Bob's. And my mom, who's a missionary, appreciate how I shortened my name, but Nika Bob's loves the oral fixation I have that goes with it.
I love oral. Wait, what?
Yeah.
Right.
So anyway, so we made a new last name for our stage name, new comedy and music, which is the Kebabs, CAP, short for Caputo, Bob's.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. I had a friend's dad growing up whose name was Robert, and we all called him Bob. So I figured, why can't I just go by Bob's?
Yeah. No, that makes sense. And like, I'm, I actually want to legally change my last name to my Dungeons and Dragons character's last name,
Ooh.
and
I've been,
then shorten my legal first name because it's actually Allison, which I hate that name, so please don't call me that.
okay,
Okay.
Allison.
Um, uh, um, but yeah, so I want to turn it to Allie McSmee,
Ooh.
That's a nice
and
name.
I think it sounds really cute. And it's like Allie McSmee, and it's like, oh,
Hey, Pink. I've been told
yeah.
this little ditty. I was told this thing recently, and I'm wondering if it's true. I heard that girls that are into Dungeons and Dragons, or women that are into Dungeons and Dragons, are into bondage. Is that true?
I
Because
mean, I've done rope
dungeons.
classes,
Okay, because
so
the whole dungeon
yes,
aspect, I just assumed. I mean,
yeah, sure,
I've never tied anybody up, but I've done some pretty kinky shit in the bondage realm.
yeah. I like the rope stuff. I have like some fancy pink rope.
Man, I would try it. Like I'm down to try anything that doesn't involve fecal matter. Um,
Fair,
I
fair.
stop at fecal matter, fisting, and pee. That's where I stop. And I don't mean squirt. Squirt ain't pee. Squirt's a carbonated beverage you buy at the fucking 7-Eleven. That's
Yeah.
fucking. I read the ingredients. It does not say pee on there, not once. It doesn't. It says there's an alarming amount of high fructose corn syrup, but there's no pee in there. That might be deadlier
Yeah.
than pee. I would rather pee in there than fucking high fructose corn syrup
No,
because that's healthier.
I'm done.
You're done. All right. That's. By the way, I do stand up comedy, and I'm going to be doing stand up comedy here coming up. And if you're in Ohio, uh, I'm going to be doing comedy in Belair on May 25th. Um,
So excited for that. I've got a friend whose mom lives in Ohio, so I'm gonna see where they're at. I'm gonna try and send some people from Michigan your way.
Sweet. I'm going to be doing a bunch of. I'm an independent comedian, so I do comedy with various different people. So this show is going to be a bunch of. I don't know how many people are in the bill. I think there's like 7, but it's an adult comedy night, and I was told that I'm allowed saying whatever I want. So, and I have ADHD, so you don't know where the fuck that's gonna go.
He,
Like,
I he thought about putting up like a camera in the house, one to just like leave on all the time to catch all the shit that comes out of our mouths randomly, and
might get me canceled.
right.
Like, I'm all for it though. Fuck it. See, I try to do it respectfully, but I did have some people offended by me in the past. But my thought is like with humor, like it's all subjective. It's all how you take the person, whatever. But did you see? Now, one of my favorite comedians, well, two of my favorite comedians, George Carlin and Norm Macdonald. Um, George Carlin got arrested for jokes he told, and Norm Macdonald got banned from the entire state of Iowa.
Right?
Did you know that about Norm Macdonald?
I did not know that about Norm Macdonald.
No.
I did know that about George Carlin.
Norm Macdonald was invited with the SNL cast at the time to Iowa by the governor to do comedy at a college, but people failed to tell Norm, as far as I know, they failed to tell Norm that it was a family comedy night. Norm didn't read the room. He didn't even see the room. He came out in front of elderly women and men and children and a couple college students, and he started with, "So I think I watch porn more than I fuck my wife. Like the other day, I saw a woman fucking a pig. I feel so bad for the pig because the pig starts off fucking a beautiful woman and then he has to go back to fucking pigs." And then he turned around and 4,000 of the 5,000 people was running towards the exits and trying to leave. And he
Oh,
didn't
jeez.
stop. He just got worse and worse, just picking at his brain, just getting worse to the point where the governor pulled out his invitation for a golf tournament for charity the next day, but Norm still showed up. And Norm Macdonald received a letter in the mail by SNL that he is no longer welcome in the state of Iowa. And instead of taking it to heart and hating himself for it, he attached it to the I don't know if you remember this or not, but back then jobs would have bulletin boards of accomplishments.
Yeah.
And he took that letter and bulletin boarded it onto the bulletin board at SNL as an accomplishment that he did. And he told the people, he's like, "Well, that's one state. We got 50 more to go, or 49 more to go." I'm like, "Oh my god, it's fucking hilarious."
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh.
Okay, so that's very helpful to know because no matter what stage you're on, um, fucking a, like you know, you're not gonna die like that, so it's not so bad. Not so
He
bad.
said that they said allegedly Bill what was his name? Jim Brewer was there. He was the opening act, and he said the 5 people that stayed loved it. Like they were, it was a standing ovation by the end of his set. The 5 people that were left. They
Yeah.
said that was a world record of how fast a comedian had cleared a room. 98% of the people were gone. And they were trying to get him off the stage, and he just kept going. He just kept fucking going. He's like, "I'm doing good, right?" And he just kept fucking. The thing I love about Norm, though, is did you ever watch his interviews?
Yeah, but it's been a while.
Nothing in life he took seriously. Everything to him was a comedy act. Like one time he sat there during an interview and he was arguing with the person about politics. And he had like this very extreme view on something, and he kept like pounding, like yelling, like not yelling, but like arguing back and forth. And then Norm's like, "I'm just fucking with you. That's not how I view it." And then he turned around and went to a legit intellect view on the topic, agreeing with the interviewer.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
He did it just to piss him off.
I love it.
He actually did an interview one time. They're like, "So do you have any news that you want to break or anything new that you got going on in your life?" And Norm's like, "Yeah, I'm a closeted gay man." And the interviewer's like, "You're coming out as gay?" He's like, "No, I ain't fucking gay. I'm closeted deeply." And what upset me though is nobody got the joke.
Right. Right.
But in my opinion, that is a comedy genius, turning life into a comedy.
Yes.
Like
Absolutely.
you don't know when he's serious and when he's not. That is comedy gold.
No, and that's fun to do. Have you ever had? Okay, working at Amazon was a lot of fun that way because you could tell jokes all the time that people didn't get.
Yeah.
But we were in Savannah, Georgia. That's all I got to say about that.
You're in Georgia.
Huh?
You were in Georgia?
Yeah. We worked at the Amazon in Savannah or Pooler, Georgia for like 5 months last year. And that that makes a lot of other things that you thought were shitty before look real fucking golden now.
I mean, you were in Georgia. You know Georgia's bad and the devil won't even go there. You know
Right?
what I mean?
Oh, that was our problem.
You know what's wild? Georgia does get a bad rap, but Florida, if you look at the news anywhere, Florida man like this, Florida man that, like,
Well, we were in Jacksonville. We were in Jacksonville for one night in the middle of like the biggest fucking thunderstorm of the winter season, and somebody stole the trailer that we had taken the Jeep off of it, thank God, and we had put it in their little storage unit, and somebody fucking cut the lock and stole it in the middle of the fucking storm.
damn.
Duval.
Oh, so back to the Norm thing. Something else I
Yeah,
thought of. He was invited onto The View, right?
yeah.
And this was when Bill Clinton was president. And he said in the interview, he was like, he's like, I don't really keep up too much with politics, but I think we need some modern Republicans in there. And they started arguing with him. He's like, ones that didn't kill a guy. And they're like, you can't make allegations like that on shows. Like, you didn't know that Bill Clinton killed a guy? Like, I thought that was public knowledge. And he looked at him, and he made a comedy bit out of it. They kept getting really pissed off, and he's like, "Yeah, he killed a guy." And and he like named the year and shit.
Oh
It was
wow.
like, he's like, "Oh yeah, that's public knowledge." And they're like, "You can't talk about the president like that." He's like, "Oh yeah," and they're like, "You're not invited back on the show." He's like, "Whatever." He's like, "But Bill Clinton," and he went and he kept like bringing it up.
Oh my
Have you seen No Effects when they
god.
were on Conan O'Brien?
No, what
They
happened?
did they did the song Franco and American, but where it just kind of they repeat the chorus, they add in an extra verse and they say George Bush. We all know George Bush is an imbecile. He loves cock, but he hates homosexuals. And yeah, they weren't allowed on TV anymore.
Did you see when it was Tommy Chong? Yes, that Tommy Chong of Cheech and Chong. He was on Fox News and he wore a shirt that said, "Hemp is a plant, but Bush is a dope." And I thought that was fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
He actually is the last I saw him on the news. I think he might have been banned from the news because he had cancer and he cured it with RSO oil, and he announced that on the news, and he hasn't been on since.
Hmm.
Oh, I love this state. So we're in the state of Oklahoma.
Uh huh.
All right, so 5 minutes from my house, $8
Wow.
for a gram. $8.
Jesus, I need some.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like you guys message me later. Like it's fucking insane.
Oh, I'm in Canada, but
That's crazy.
that'd be amazing.
What is up, Jag? Jag the Apostles in the building. Sorry to interrupt you, Nee, but we have Jag in the building. Love that man. I kind of put a little pause on the music we was working on because I got so much shit with W Pot and stuff, but it will be coming out. I am working on shit with that. So sorry it's been taking a while. But finish what you're saying. Can I call you Nee or like Nee? We're the Knights that say Nee.
Can you call you Nick from like Monty Python?
Yeah, from the Holy Grail, the Knights that say Nee.
We might have lost him. He might have fallen asleep. He's in the back room.
He's in the bathroom.
No, the back room.
Oh, I was gonna say that's a shitty situation if you fall asleep in the bath.
Can he call you Nee from like the Knights of Nee? Yeah. Yes. That's a yes.
Oh, I think we lost him again.
Oh no.
Yeah, like so now we freeze and we'll be like
Yeah.
freak him out when he comes back. He'll be like, "What's going on?"
I don't know what's going on. My internet keeps cutting out. I think it might be the weather. But
We were gonna be frozen in spot.
oh,
So then you weren't sure if it was still frozen.
So go ahead, Nee. I would like for you to promote what you've got going on. We'll promote what we've got going on, and then we might cut this off because it is about an hour in,
Right on.
and my internet's shit. So let's go ahead and promote yourself.
Hey, do you want to promote yourself? He's not paying attention. Yes. Okay, so I'm going to promote him because he's in his own world right now. Um, bless his heart. He's got about 8 songs out right now on any of your favorite streaming platforms: Spotify, iTunes, Prime, Deezer, iHeart, Pandora, and oh fuck,
I've
there's some
never
other,
heard of all fuck.
but no, released through DistroKid. So, and you can use his sounds in TikToks and on Facebook Reels and all of that stuff too. Um, my all of his songs are true stories written about something that was going on in our life at the time, which is pretty cool. And he has like 2 or 3 hours worth of songs that nobody's heard yet that I just get to hear on a regular basis to go. But the goal is to be stable enough long enough to start recording again.
Quit being greedy. Let me hear some of this shit. No, I'm just kidding.
Right, well, I will have. Okay, so I am not tech savvy. So I give you permission to play whatever song you can bring up because I don't have all the things. I have an iPhone 13 that I have dropped like a basketball. Thank God it's in a good case. I'm pretty sure the back is cracked though. Um, that I don't know how to do all the things, and I suck, and I'm sorry, but
No, you're good. You're
uh,
good. You don't suck.
uh,
Well, you might. I mean, I don't know you like you might. I mean, you might pack his ass like a bong. You know what I mean? Like, like what? You don't know. But anything else you want to promote, dear?
um, well, I like them all. What's your favorite genre of music? Because they're all multi-genre.
I mean, I
Punk.
don't know. I listen to everything, dear. I listen to polka. I listen to. I'm just gonna name shit that you probably don't play.
So
Just be an asshole.
I have heard him compared to Blue October. Um, kind of a Chili Peppers theme, some Sublime, Streetlight Manifesto, some kind of
Nice.
folk guitar.
Straight Light Manifesto is my favorite ska band.
Oh damn.
Hit one of his too. So
Hey, after this, just send me your link or whatever that you have, and I will just share your music on Facebook.
thank you. Yes, yes, we will do that. Sorry, I wasn't prepared.
No, you're good. We were just here to hang out. We're just that's what I do. I like hanging out with people. And if anything I say or do offends anybody, at least I'm wearing pants. I guess that's
Right.
my
Don't take it too seriously. We're
yeah.
just
Like life's not a dick. Don't take it too hard.
right and show that everybody can have a point of view. And
Yeah.
it's okay ADD and rambly and need somebody to stop you.
Oh, by the way, we have a podcasting network coming soon called W Pot Live, so keep your eye out for that. It's gonna be fun.
Woo woo.
Woo woo, woo woo
Woo
woo.
woo.
Time again on
I'm sorry, you cut out really bad, dear. What'd you say?
what time again on Monday? You were telling me I needed to set an alarm.
Monday, we're doing 9:30 p.m. again. We're going to be talking about what I call Sickalodian. We're going to be talking about Quiet on Set, and actually set your alarms because it's not next Monday, but next Sunday, not this coming Sunday, but next Sunday, they have another episode of Quiet on Set. So we
Oh.
might have to talk about that too. It's episode 5 of season 1.
Oh. I'm gonna have to find a way to get caught up
It's
before
on
my
Max. That's
now
what
9:30 is that 9:30 Eastern time, Central
e-
time?
Eastern
Eastern time, 9:30 Eastern time, PM. Tune in.
PM. Yeah, tune in. And if not, Will Ferrell back there will get you.
uh,
Is there anything you want to promote, Pink? You've got stuff going on right now, don't you?
I DJ on W pot, and I am hopefully going to be doing something with you called Blue Waffle.
Yeah, we are working on something called Blue Waffle. We're going to convert. The game plan is we're going to convert Pink Sock Podcast and just interview style. We're going to have interviews, and then Blue Waffle is going to be our late night evening hangout where we just kind of like the old school Howard Stern kind of style where anybody can show up, anything can happen.
Oh, that's
Kind of.
fine. I
Um,
was telling Nika Bobs like how much fun I would have hanging out with other funny people and how many people would benefit from all the funniness going on in the room and just shenanigans. And
the
people
issue,
too seriously and like yeah, discuss the serious stuff, but also remember to laugh and love yourself.
yeah, because at the end of the day, I think people take themselves way too seriously. Um,
Mm-hmm.
like I've had people upset at me for making what I thought was a mutual joke, but they took it as like offensive, or they might have gotten insecure, whatever. But like I feel bad when a joke is taken way out of context and it makes me look bad because that's wasn't my intentions. Like I don't know, I don't know. Like it's not up to the comedian to make
Oh,
you
I
comfortable. I
don't
guess I
Right.
don't know. I,
No, it's the comedian's job to make you uncomfortable so you can think about shit and laugh at it at the same time. But maybe when you leave there, be a little bit of a better person.
you know what my favorite opening joke out of any stand-up special was?
Hmm. What?
George Carlin, when he did Back in Town, he opened his special with, and I'm quoting him. I'm not saying I agree with what he said or whatever. I might, I may not. But the quote was, "Why is it? Why is it that most women who are against abortion are women you wouldn't want to fuck in the first place?" He started a special like that.
Yes.
know.
Yes, he.
He fucking started his special like that. Another special he started with, and I hope I get good opening lines like this. George would come out and say, he said something one time. He was like, why is the nobody talks about, no, he's like, do you know what people don't talk about anymore? People don't talk about pussy farts anymore. And then that was his opening line. That was it. Like he just left it at that.
Yes, yes. I've seen specials. I just don't remember which one's which. Like I don't have them all memorized yet.
Well,
But
it's crazy how comedy works. Is people ask me, they're like, how do you write your what you're going to say? And I'm like, I don't. I have subjects or I have stories that I know that happen to me, but I don't know exactly which one I'm going to actually say or what I'm going to say. Because with comedy, you can't write too much because you got to read the crowd.
right now, do you take like a note card up, or do you write a note on the inside of your hand or anything to help you stay ADHD focused, or do you wing it every time?
I let my ADHD take over. I let go because I heard this a good quote from Jim Carrey. You have to let the armor go. You have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable and you have to be uncomfortably you. So, whatever happens in the heat of the moment, whether you bomb or not, go with it. Because my set that I wrote today, if I was to write, is not the same set I want to do a month from now when the show is.
Right on. Right on.
So, I
Mm.
actually opened my most recent set with a joke that I didn't even have written until I went on stage. My I came out and I'm like, so give it up for Louie, who's my friend. He's the DJ for some of my comedy shows, and I perform at some of his events. I'm like, Louie needed a projector screen, but we didn't have one, so he had me buy a white sheet. But I wasn't sure where to buy a white sheet because KKK Mart is now closed. I thought it was a cute little joke that I'd just written. Jag was there for that. That was a good fucking joke. But a lot of the best material is written on the spot.
Yeah. So okay, wait. And how long are your sets?
Depends on who I'm performing with, what's going on, but the sets that I had was like 15, 20 minutes, which ain't bad for a starter. That was my first time, my first two times.
So I've been studying because this is kind of my hobby. I'm not a professional like you by any means.
I'm not a professional. Don't throw that slander out there. I'm not. That's not an allegation I'm willing to take on. I'm not a professional. I'm just a fuck off.
Are, are you selling tickets?
Yes.
Okay, then you're a fucking professional. You're not looking up the local open mic night, getting there, taking your double shot of whiskey for your courage, and then sitting through 5 to 7.
I'm doing that Thursday, dear. I'm doing my first open mic night Thursday. That's the fucking crazy part. My first show I did, I paid for and I booked. My fourth show is an open mic night. I'm doing this backwards.
Yeah, but like I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. But
Aw.
like I noticed, like when I'm watching comedy specials and stuff, it's only the really famous people that go for hours and they throw a joke in and they bring it back around and the things and the things. But like a lot of people, if you're watching like the little shorts, people only get, 5, 10 minutes at the most. So if you're doing 15 to 20, you're already killing it. Add in a
Yeah.
commercial break or so and a little more material, and you are an HBO special, my friend.
Now, I do have some things I got to work on with my comedies. I got to figure out a way to work everything together. Mine is now, right now, an ADHD nightmare. It's just a bunch of, but I mean, that kind of works in a way because look at like Louis C.K. I know that's a really weird name to bring around because he beat off in front of people, but whatever. Louis C.K., George Carlin, a lot of those guys didn't, George wrote, but there's a lot of comedians that don't write. Like Louis C.K. was in an interview and they're like, "So how do you write?" He's like, "I don't. That causes more stress than it's worth. I write down words or things that I think I can make funny, and I just
Uh,
do it."
right on.
So
So
that's the route I took.
I found too that storytelling is a big part of it.
Yeah, I do that too. Life stories.
Yeah, yeah, and working that in.
Like
And
I'm going to give away a free funny story that I've told. And I'm sorry, Mom. I'm going to apologize to my mother right now. But we're going to talk about my mother's colonoscopy. Now, no. I love you, Mom. But no, she went in to get a colonoscopy and it went well. Things went great. Round of applause. Yeah. Um now but my mother informed me of her doctor's name that performed the colonoscopy. And I'm not an adult enough to take in this information without laughing. But the doctor in question is Dr. Schatz. Yeah, her colonoscopy
Hmm.
doctor is Dr. Schatz. Now, me caring about my mother, I did research into Dr. Schatz. Because, I mean, if you're going to look in my mom's butt, I want you to be like reliable. Uh, that's my mom's butt. But I looked into her, to him, and he had some great reviews. But the one review that really sold it for me that he's built for the job was it was a 1-star review. But the guy said he's an asshole. And I'm like, who else would be better equipped to look inside of an asshole than an asshole? Like,
right. Like, do you remember the episode from Seinfeld, The Ass Man?
yeah.
Yeah, Shats. You met the real life ass man.
Yeah, his name was Dr. Shat, I think S or Z, something like that. Schatz.
Terrible.
I'm actually going to change my name because the S in my last name, I'm going to turn into a dollar sign.
Ah, I
Uh,
like
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 you pronunciate it the same way, you just spell it different. But
Double dollar bills, y'all.
guys, here in about 5 minutes, Adam Grack is going live over on his channel Goals Gone Wild. He has a nice interview for you guys, so go over there because I support the hell out of him. Check them out as well, Nee. He talks about horror and all kinds of shit like that. We recently reviewed or reacted to the Winnie the Pooh horror movie sequel. They have a trailer, and
Right.
you didn't know that they made a horror movie of Winnie the Pooh last year, and now they are doing a sequel.
I
Yeah.
Blood
Sorry.
and Honey is the name of it. Sorry, we keep talking over top of each other. I think it's the Wi-Fi situation.
Yeah.
But guys, that was Pink Sock Podcast. I hope you had fun, Nee. I hope I didn't offend you too much. Meh. Uh, but I love you guys. Thank you so much for doing this. We will be back Monday, and I will be live streaming, by the way, on Clapper here soon.
okay.
I've got the clap. You should get it too, Nee
Yes.
or Dot. Sorry, but
Not fun.
you guys are awesome. I love it. I wish Nee could have been here because
Yes.
we got Nee and
He,
Dot.
he's kind of got to be prepared to be on camera and do the things. Um,
It's all
and
right. Anxiety.
yes, yes, and yeah, and it's kind of been it's a long day. His birthday was the other day.
Happy birthday, by the way. Tell him I said happy birthday.
Happy birthday! And
Happy early birthday. I don't
it,
have to say it next year.
it's we had some family a family member that fell and broke their hip and is in the
Oh,
hospital.
jeez.
Other things going on. Like there's a lot of processing going on, and then I don't know, Mercury's in retrograde or some shit, and there was a solar flare and a lunar eclipse, and
Damn. I hate when Freddie Mercury's in the microwave. Like
right?
it messes with my mood. But I love you guys so much. Thank you for coming on here. Dot, you're more than welcome to come back anytime. And get Clapper. If you don't have Clapper yet, I don't know if you know what that is.
I do, I do. I'm gonna try and check out the other things, spend a little time with the knee, and find you on Clapper in a little bit.
Okay.
What?
Help me get more people need to get the clap because Clapper's amazing. But I love you guys so much. Thank you. And I will see you all. Remember, live
Bye.
long, rock hard, and love one